So we're back again. My name is Matt Talbot, and today we're talking about Canton Township, Michigan. Whatever you do, do not move to Canton Township before watching this video. Today we're talking about Canton Township. My name is Matt Talbot. My team and I help people just like you every single day move here to Michigan, and we absolutely live for it. We got even a few calls this week alone, several consultations going with new clients. We're excited to help all you people that are moving from out of town move back here to Michigan, and we absolutely live for it. So in this video, we want to talk about Canton Township, which is a suburb of Metro Detroit. If you're thinking about moving to Canton Township, this video is for you. In fact, do not move to Canton before watching this video. We want to dive into some of the housing statistics, some of the cost of living statistics, a little bit more about the area, location, so you can really understand the pros and cons and specifically what to do and what not to do when moving to Canton, Michigan. Let's jump right in. First on our list is going to be housing statistics and cost of living. So, of course, for real estate agents, we want to talk about housing statistics. I have some very, very recent data pulled up here in Canton. So right now, the average price point in Canton Township is $363,000, and that's for all property types. When you go into residential homes, the median price is $413,000, so just over $400,000 there. Price per square foot, again, when we talk about the median, is really about $202 per square foot, which has gone up significantly over the last couple years. And one of the reasons for that is Canton's a very sought out place for a lot of people moving from all over the country and actually all over the world. So it's a very diverse location in Canton Township. A lot of people move for a lot of different reasons to Canton. A big reason for many people is they're going to work at Ford Motor Company or they're going to work at University of Michigan Hospital, a very, very central location, which I'll get into in a minute, as far as Canton Township. So as far as condos, so you don't have to buy a $400,000 house to move to Canton. You could move into a condo or a lower price point house, of course. The average condo sale right now, the median is $270,000. So a little bit more bang for your buck, a little bit more affordable options when you're talking about condos in Canton to start off, if that's more your bread and butter. But again, there's some really decent houses anywhere really from $250,000 and up in Canton Township, and same with condos, so you can find a variety. However, that average is really above $400,000. A big reason for that is there's still a decent amount of development happening in Canton Township on the southwest side of Canton Township. There's still some land out there, so there's a lot of new construction happening as well. So one video to check out if you're thinking about moving to that area is our Cherry Hill Village video. Great video. You can dive deeper into Cherry Hill Village, that general location. Also, we have videos out there on Evergreen Development, which is a builder that we partner with. There's some other builder options as well too in some of those videos as far as Lombardo and some of the other newer construction homes. There's a plethora of different options. It depends on budget, flavor, pros and cons of the different builders and stuff like that. So if you're thinking about moving to Canton and you want to dive into new construction, very, very important you talk to an agent that is very well versed on new construction in that general area. Up next on our list is going to be commute and transportation. So we talked about housing statistics, switch up the order of business. Usually when we're talking through these videos, we want to give you a location of where things are at. And so in Canton Township, it is a suburb of Metro Detroit, which we've talked about in lengths. Canton Township is a very, very central location for a lot of people. It's about halfway between Ann Arbor and Detroit, maybe a little bit closer to Ann Arbor. So a lot of people that want to get in and out of Ann Arbor, in and out of Detroit, easy access all over the state and all over the Midwest, choose Canton for that reason, okay? It's on the I-275 corridor, which runs north and south. That will take you north and south, and depending on where you're at in Canton, you're usually 5 to 15 minutes from 275, and that can take you, north. You can run into 96 up into Lansing, Grand Rapids if you need to go that way. Super easy in and out of Ann Arbor, so you can take back roads. You can take Ford Road, you can take Michigan Ave all the way down, or you can jump on an expressway as far as I-94, M14 in and out of Ann Arbor as well too, and it's just about 30 to 40 minutes to downtown Detroit as well. So we have a lot of clients that choose Canton that will maybe work at Ford Motor Company over in Dearborn, which is their international headquarters, and maybe the husband or wife or spouse or whoever works in Ann Arbor and they work at the hospital system or one of the tech companies over there. So Canton's a very sought out location for that locationally. So commute to the airport is also very, very easy. It's about 20 to 30 minutes max in Canton. Sometimes actually the certain parts of Canton, it's probably only 15-20 minutes to the airport, and that's Detroit Metropolitan, of course. So easy in and out to the airport. It's very important for traveling. Delta has a huge hub here as well too, so a lot of our clients have worked for Delta through the years, whether pilot or in the admin side of things, and Canton's a good sought out location for that because it's easy to get in and out of the airport. So commutability, I don't know if that's a word, but commutability is awesome in Canton. Really good location for that. And again, in and out of Ann Arbor, in and out of Detroit. Even 275 can shoot down to Ohio pretty easy as well too. So maybe you work down in Adrian or you work over in Tecumseh or something like that. It's very easy to kind of commute throughout the Canton area. Up next is Plymouth-Canton Community Schools. So if you live in Canton Township, 95% of the people in Canton are aligned to Plymouth-Canton schools. There are some of the outskirts of Canton where you could be aligned with a different school district, like Wayne-Westland, or you could be aligned with potentially Ypsilanti schools. So there's some overlap in there. But as far as Plymouth-Canton schools, I want to dive into the school district there as much as possible. I'm not allowed to steer you as a real estate agent. I always like to make sure to mention that in these videos because we are definitely by the book on our team. We do right by our rules and regulations, by our board requirements and all that stuff. As a licensed real estate agent and as a licensed broker here in Michigan, I make sure to honor that. However, we do want to provide some direction to our clients, so there's a lot of different websites to go ahead and check out as far as school districts. I would never say one district is better than the other, or don't go here, go here, of course. However, we want to give you some written statistics that we pulled off from publicschoolreview.com. So that's a website that we're referring to. They rank Plymouth-Canton schools a 10 out of 10. Overall rank, highest overall rank, top 5%. Highest math proficiency, top 5%. Reading, language, arts proficiency, top 5%. Highest graduation rate, top 20% there as well too. So I'm kind of like rolling through this article again, not steering in one direction or another, just trying to kind of take you through everything. Just under 2,000 students. There's 97 teachers throughout the district. 74 out of 2,900 schools on their platform here, top 5%. As far as those are state scores that I'm referring to as well here. So they have a lot of other different demographic stuff, a lot of different ratings, and they break down each individual school as far as Plymouth-Canton schools on a website like that. So if you're thinking about moving to Canton or anywhere here in Southeast Michigan, or really anywhere in the world, make sure you're taking a look at this if you have kids and that's of importance to you to understand what the different options are. There's a plethora of different private school options locally as well too, that a lot of people choose as well. One interesting note, so I'm a graduate of Plymouth-Canton schools, and one interesting note is the high school itself is very unique. Okay, there's actually 3 high schools on one campus, so quite a big school district, and on that campus there's 3 high schools. When I was there was around 6,000 students in total for the park, and I think it's still somewhere around there. But it's kind of interesting because I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a great preparation for college. Really, you have classes at all 3 schools. However, you have a home school, so your sports and all that stuff are aligned with a home school. Usually freshman year they keep in one school, and then they kind of let you wander around campus, which I think is a fantastic preparation for college. You have a 10-15 minute pastime. You got to get from school to school. It's really the same as a smaller college university, and so I think it's a great preparation. Additionally, there's lots of different programs through Plymouth-Canton schools, and definitely at the high school, that allows you to be able to be into different things. If you're into one group, let's say you're into chess or you're into golf or whatever, right? Yes, the sports are aligned with one school. However, there's these different groups at all the different schools that you can kind of collaborate with. So as an example, I played golf in high school, and I played for Plymouth High School, and some of my good friends to this day actually played golf for some of the other different schools. So although we competed and there was some competition there, I had a variety of different people to go ahead and engagement based on my interests. So I think it's a huge value add there, not to completely sell you on Plymouth-Canton schools, but it is an interesting and very unique thing here in Michigan. I should know this. It's one of the biggest schools in the state of Michigan as far as high school because of that combined campus. I think it leads to a great result for a lot of people. I definitely think it's a great option for a lot of people. However, if you're thinking about Canton Township, there is a lot of local private schools as well too, Catholic schools and stuff like that all over the place, and so there's a variety of options depending on you and your kids' flavor. Up next on our listing of things to know before moving to Canton Township is cost of living in Canton Township. So again, we like to source the articles that we pull this from because depending on the data where you go, there's some different different answers here, but this is from salary.com. They say that Canton Township is 10.9% higher as far as cost of living compared to the nation. So it's a little bit higher compared to the average across all 50 states here. However, that's a very relative statistic, right? Depending on where you're moving from. As an example, San Francisco, California is 86.5% higher than the average. Washington, D.C., we have 2 people moving from Washington, D.C. right now that I know about on our team moving here to Michigan. That's 45% higher. So one of our clients are thinking about moving. They're actually from Michigan, and they're working from home now, and they're moving back from D.C., and the cost of living and the cost of their house and all that stuff is significantly less. That's a big reason why they're doing that move. And again, 45% compared to 10% higher. That's a 35% gap according to this article of cost of living, somewhere like that. A ton of our clients move from Chicago, which is 12.4%. So the cost of living in Chicago is actually much higher than Canton Township. Boston, 53%. New York, 77%. Dallas cost of living is actually a little bit less overall if you're moving from the Dallas area. So it's kind of interesting to break this down. We're actually in the green as far as housing, and the red on energy, food, healthcare, and transportation as far as cost of living here. So some of these articles really break this down. For me, Canton Township, as far as how it breaks down throughout Southeast Michigan, just my personal take on it, it's still an affordable area to live while you get like the best of both worlds. It's an affluent area in a lot of places. Like I said, great school systems, a lot of great things happening throughout the city. There's lots of parks and recreation stuff, which we'll get into in a minute. There's a good community vibe, okay? But I don't think it's also like one of the most expensive places in all of Southeast Michigan either. So I think you get a good amount of value in an area like Canton. One of the reasons why it's so sought out, like I said, people from all over the world move there. We have transplants all the time moving to Canton, as well as a lot of local people who select that as their part of town. Up next of things to know prior to moving to Canton Township is its cultural scene and events. Before I dive into that, please hit subscribe, tap for notifications, or I made the Calendly link right here in the comments. If you're interested in learning more about Canton or Southeast Michigan or Michigan as a whole, please fill out that Calendly link. We're happy to connect. And if this video is providing value to you, please make sure to tap for notifications, hit subscribe, make sure to tune into future videos just like this. Okay, so recreation, cultural scene, and events is our next section here. A couple important ones to note that are in my list here. Canton Farmers Market, Liberty Fest, Cherry Hill Village Festival. There's a variety of different festivals happening on a regular basis. There's also some other more cultural driven festivals that happen as well throughout the year as well too, between the different churches and temples and stuff throughout Canton Township. But it's a very it is a township itself, so there's no like downtown area like maybe a Plymouth or Northville or some of these older local cities. However, the township does a really good job putting on events and making it a very active community. Right off, if you take Canton Center Road, just south of Cherry Hill Road, really at Palmer Road, is really the township center, okay? There's a library there, there's a township hall. If you continue to go down there, there's a township community center called the Summit. If you go past that, there's Pheasant Run Golf Course, and there's a Heritage Park and different parks around there as well too. And that's where a lot of the happenings happen in Canton Township, a lot of the local stuff. So a big one is the Liberty Fest every year that happens in the summertime. So they do the fireworks and all that stuff. So a lot of people that live in Glengarry or live on Pheasant Run Golf Course, all the different local communities there, they get ready for the fireworks that time of year. It's a great time. People drive their cars up from all over the place, post up, go to the park and watch the fireworks. And they also do a lot of different events there in that part of town. So a big one that I used to be more involved with, we donate every year. I'd like to actually make it out. It's been a while since I made it out, is the Relay for Life, which is a cancer fundraiser that they do in there as well too. So a lot of things happening in that part of town. It's great for students because of the libraries, easy access. The township buildings, easy access if you need to get in and out of there. So Canton's done a good job developing that area and making it a very community-driven area throughout. Now, Canton Township itself is about 36 square miles, so there's a variety of different options outside of that part of town too, where you could be a little bit more rural kind of farm land area if you'd want, or you can be a little bit more in a more subdivision as well too. Like one subdivision that just popped in my head is Sunflower Village, which Sunflower is actually between Canton Center and Beck Road, down Hamford Road there, and there's a ton of houses built in that sub, like the 80s. They're beautiful. There's a pool in that subdivision, stuff like that too. So a lot of people seek out that area, and there's a good amount of continual turnover, meaning families continue to move in when families move out. They renovate the houses. There's a lot of beautiful real estate in that part of town, and good bang for your buck. That subdivision really sells, between $300 and $450 right now for the most part, for like colonials and stuff like that. So a lot of different varieties in that community features. There's parks, there's local schools. There's a lot of things that Canton Township has done to make sure to continue to do events, parks and recreation. Obviously that kind of rolls into your millage rate and stuff like that. Taxes aren't the lowest of all time in Canton Township, but I believe you get a lot of bang for your buck in Canton Township if that's an area that you're considering in that tax assessment. Up next of things to know prior to moving to Canton Township is our safety and crime rate. Again, a lot of different resources online to dive deeper into this, but if you're tuning into this video, we want to make sure to dive into that because it's important to know everything you need to know and have full transparency on any city that you're moving to, and the earlier you can find this stuff out, the better, right? So this is from neighborhoodscout.com. They actually have some fairly interesting statistics in here. This is saying that safer than 45% of all U.S. neighborhoods. Listen, guys, from my perspective, one man's humble opinion, like, it doesn't get much safer than Canton Township, in my opinion. It's a very, very safe part of town. This is kind of an interesting one. The article here, as far as violent crimes, is, less than half of what the state of Michigan is overall. Not that there's a ton in the state. We're a little bit above the national median, but very, very low there as well, too. Chances of being a victim of a violent crime is very, very low. So there's a good amount of statistics here as far as crime rates here in Canton Township. You can dive deep into that to understand it. Again, I've been in this area my entire life. As far as like the likelihood in my own brain of something negative happening to you as far as a robbery or getting jumped or anything like that, I mean, it's just like next to impossible, right? So I believe it's a very, very safe area for a lot of reasons. Again, I would never steer someone to one area or another. However, in one man's humble opinion, as the licensed agent here and someone from the area for a very long time, I firmly believe that you will feel safe in Canton Township without a doubt. So if you're thinking about moving the area, especially if it's in the next 3 to 6 months, but really up to the next 12 to 24 months, schedule that calendar link. The earlier we know, the longer the runway we have, the better experience our clients end up having. Meaning we're having a lot of conversations that aren't thinking about moving to Michigan really for 6, 12 months or longer. And we're happy to do that because we can start to show you some listings, show you some different areas, get some flavors out there so you can really be well-versed when the time comes to move. Also, I just got a call yesterday. This particular family, they need to move in the next 2 weeks. We're happy to accommodate that for them. The same day we set up a consultation. We're going to start showings on Saturday, which is in a couple days from today, and we're going to be rocking and rolling with that family, and I'm very confident we can get them in a house in their less than 6 week time frame that they're looking for. So if it's a quick move, we're here for you. If it's way down the road, that's fine too. We're happy to collaborate, have good conversations, and get to know all the people that want to move to the area. We think it's a great area. We want to go ahead and help you understand that, the pros and cons, all the different areas. Canton Township is a fantastic option for a lot of people, without a doubt. My name is Matt Talbot. Hit subscribe, tap for notifications. My team and I help people just like you every single day move here to Michigan, and we absolutely live for it.